Hey guys, David Miller, United Country Real Estate.
Jennifer Crowe.
We are going to give you a little market update. We haven't done this in a while. We try not to be in your inbox too often, about every 3 months. Jennifer's going to tell us what's going on in the 2023 market. So, what's your take on how things have changed from this time last year, maybe?
Inventory seems to be even lower than what it was last year. Not in quite as many multiple offer situations. However, I've actually had a couple over recently. Just had one probably about a week or so ago in Enterprise. House listed. I mean, one day on the market, I called. They already had multiple offers. Of course, rushed up there to go show it. And then I listed one in Geneva, I guess a couple months back. Same thing, wound up with multiple offers. So a house that's, priced right, good condition, doesn't have to be immaculate, like completely updated, but overall good bones. I'm seeing some multiple offers on those.
Yeah, same story with us. We listed 3 last week between Michael and I, and all 3 of them are pending, but they were all 3 priced right, or one of them was priced right, but it had 5 acres, had something to offer. It was something that made it stand out. I still think the market, I always tell my sellers, if we price something wrong in this really fluid markets like we've got, the market will tell you if you're off. Even if you're low, if you price something low, you'll have multiple offers that'll get that price up. But if you overprice something and you're twiddling your thumbs in 2 months,
I would definitely say that is, I would say as far as last year or when all the frenzy was going on, you could list something higher and still get that feeding frenzy. I think now that the pricing is more important, you got to price within that market value and then let the buyers push that price up.
And I think you need a professional to help you with that part, because that's the hardest. It's always been the hardest part of the job to me, is pricing, especially a home that's not in a cookie cutter neighborhood where I say, oh, my neighbor sold for this price, so I can sell for this. If you've got a home with a barn and 5 acres and a pool and you name it, that's just more, pricing's hard. I always said being an appraiser last year was probably the hardest job ever, because you're trying to keep up with what stuff was worth when it was just going crazy. So.
And I hear that a lot, like somebody will say, well, my neighbor's house sold for $200,000. Well, you got to make sure you're comparing apples to apples. I had this actually a couple of months ago. The house that I was looking at was, I believe it was late 1990s. And the house I was comparing to was an older, originally built home, but it had been completely gutted and remodeled from the ground up. I mean, wiring, plumbing, roofing, so you're not, and it had high grade finishes. So you were no longer comparing, you're comparing an old house to a newer home, because this older house that was originally 1950 is now a new home. Yeah. So you got to make sure that, what is driving that neighbor's house up? Is it finishes? Is it a barn? Do they have more land? So make sure you're comparing apples to apples.
Yeah. And I think big picture, we're talking about, you can't go buy as much milk as you used to with $1. And same thing with a car, same thing with houses. I think we've seen some appreciation, but we've also seen some inflation, obviously, like everything. So that's what's made this last year so hard to navigate, I guess. But we're still busy. Theme of this is we still need listings. I'm going to beat that drum forever.
Yes.
We still need listings. Inventory is short. Land listings, same story with land listings. I tell people, if your land was worth $2,500 an acre 2 years ago, it's probably worth $3,500, and that's very blanketed and shoot from the hip, kind of my style. But let us come look if you're looking to list your home or acreage, and we can narrow that number down. But just to give you an idea, you've probably got equity in something you bought a few years ago. So. What else?
I think that's pretty much it. Inventory. So now is the time. If you've got something, the biggest thing with selling is make sure you have the plan, because this is going to be the same market you are buying in. But the biggest thing, if you've got a rental property offload, something you inherited, just an extra home, for whatever reason, those are perfect properties to list.
Still a time that your real estate is still very liquid, so that's a good thing. Give us a call. We'll be proud to help. All our contact info will be in this email, and we'll try to keep y'all updated. If you got questions, reach out. We'll get them answered.
Have a great day.